this section, I will be introducing to you with JavaScript. If you are a complete beginner, you will be definitely having questions like what is JavaScript, what is the use of JavaScript, purpose of JavaScript, and what are the jobs available if we learn JavaScript, and also is JavaScript enough to get a job? You will be getting all the answers to your questions in this session. Okay, let's continue with introducing to JavaScript. Okay, in the last few hours or maybe even in last few minutes, you have probably interacted with web pages to do things like watching videos, looking for locations on maps, or interact with social media feeds, or using Instagram, using Facebook, liking posts in Insta, commenting, replying to messages, etc. In fact, you are watching this video in YouTube where you can pause video, forward the video, play video, etc. Okay, you can do lot of stuffs here. And when you are looking for any hotels, you can search their location in maps. In any food ordering website, you can order food by clicking on the few buttons. Have you ever thought how this interactivity is possible? Okay, this is all because of the language JavaScript. JavaScript is the most popular programming language in the world. If I take an example of you and your friend, you meet your friend, interact with them, greet them, speak to them. In return, you get response from them. In the same way, when we search for website in browser, we get tons of results. We open the website, whichever it is important to us, like clicking on the buttons, and inside that website, we click on the buttons, fill forms. Okay, we can do lot of stuffs. Basically, we are interacting with the website. And also it simply means that browsers speak JavaScript. Okay, when you meet your friend, they are speaking to you. Okay, whatever you are telling, they are responding to you. In the same way, when we tell browser, they are going to give the result, and we can interact with the websites like clicking on the buttons, watching videos, forwarding videos, any stuff we can perform. And also almost every website runs JavaScript in some form or the other. Using JavaScript, updates are displayed in real time on our devices. Like we can see the weather, okay, what is today's weather, what is tomorrow's weather. We will be getting real time examples. And also the clock, okay, stopwatch, the clocks which we see in mobile devices, in laptops, and also in websites, that can also be built using JavaScript. And some common examples include like interactive maps. The example which I gave, if you want to find any location, then we can use these maps. And client-side form validation. If we are submitting any form, then we can use JavaScript. And also interactive web pages. Okay, if you go to any website and if you want to click on any button, okay, you are clicking on button, the form comes up, you are filling the form, you are basically interacting with the website. We can give interactivity to our web pages, and basically it is literally the language of web. Okay, browsers speak JavaScript and it is the language of web. Okay, this is all about JavaScript. This concept if you get, and if you just understand where JavaScript is used and what is the purpose of JavaScript, then it will be very easy for you to understand JavaScript. Okay, now let's find out a bit more about the benefits of JavaScript and also its importance to developers. Okay, as a developer, we should be knowing the importance of using any programming language. So let's understand the importance of JavaScript and more benefits of JavaScript. Okay, since as I told you, it is used to interact with the website, and since it is one of the most widely available and frequently used methods for interacting with browsers on the client side. Okay, client side is basically when we open the website, okay, that is the client side. Okay, when we are doing anything, okay, front end part, client side, okay, we are the clients, we are giving the commands, okay, we are telling what to do, when to do, and why to do. Okay, as I told you, okay, this is the most widely used language that is used to interact with the client side. So this is the reason JavaScript became more and more popular, and in fact every year the survey shows JavaScript the most popular language in the world. So what is it that makes JavaScript so integral to modern browsers? Okay, now JavaScript is currently the only computer language that allows us to directly interact with our web pages. Okay, dynamically on the client side, we can interact with our web pages. We can talk to our website. Okay, now if I just take an example of cake, inside cake we will be having multiple options. Okay, we are having chocolates, we are having vanilla cream. Okay, in the same way, JavaScript is baked inside the browser, and also millions and millions of websites use JavaScript. By any chance, if we remove JavaScript from those websites, then those millions of websites would become useless. Okay, they will only be having the front end part, okay, the designing part and the HTML, CSS part. But without interaction, that website is completely useless. We cannot interact with that website. And when it comes to simplicity, it is very easy to use. Okay, if you start with any other programming language as a beginner, you would need to learn some other things, like you would have to set up the environment, you would have to learn many other things. Okay, small things also you have to learn. But when it comes to JavaScript, it is simply opening the browser's developer tool, going to console tab and executing the JavaScript code. Because each and every browser will be having JavaScript engine built inside it, and we can interact with it and we can execute our code inside the console tab itself. This is not it works in real world projects, but for that we are going to do advanced topics, okay, using VS Code editor or using editors we are executing our code. Okay, but if you are a complete beginner, you can directly open console and you can just execute the code. Okay, now what is JS engine? That we will be seeing in next sessions. Okay, if you are not getting what is JS engine, I will be telling you in next session. Okay, don't worry about that. Okay, as I told you, there will be little bits of steps starting with JavaScript, like we just need a simple code editors, and we are having plenty of code editors. But in this session, as I told you, I will be using Visual Studio Code. Okay, in our next sessions, we will be seeing how to set up Visual Studio Code and what are the extensions required to get started with JavaScript, and possibly setting up with some other things such as we have Node.js and NPM. Okay, now what is Node.js, what is NPM? Don't get confused with this one. I am just telling these are the few things that might require to run JavaScript. Okay, but initially as a beginner, just open developer tool on your web browser and just execute the JavaScript code. Okay, now JavaScript, as I told you, it is used in almost every website, and also it is used on client side of sites as plain JavaScript. Okay, plain JavaScript is also known as vanilla JavaScript. Another reason why people often choose JavaScript is that it's considered one of the most accessible programming languages, and also it has a wide development community to offer help and guidance. Okay, there are many programming languages that would be difficult or challenging to begin with, but JavaScript is so approachable that a new beginner or new developer can directly jump into programming. So besides being a useful skill on its own, JavaScript can also be a stepping stone to other languages and technologies. If you learn JavaScript, you are open to plenty of jobs. You can learn many more technologies using JavaScript. We are having many frameworks of JavaScript. Okay, we are having React, which is also called as library of JavaScript. We are having Vue.js. We are having plenty and plenty of frameworks which is open to you when you learn JavaScript. And also for a very long time, JavaScript was only used in browsers to build only interactive web pages. Okay, it was not used in mobile applications, it was not used in building games and everything. It was only used to build interactive web pages. So because of that, most of the developers were used to call JavaScript as a toy language. Okay, toy language is nothing but it will not have capability to build complex programs or complex UI designs or complex interactivity, mobile applications, whatever it is, it will not have any complexity. So developers used to call it as a toy language. But now those days are gone because of huge community support and investments by large companies in this JavaScript. Okay, we are having Facebook, we are having Google. Okay, these are the companies which have invested in JavaScript, and JavaScript has become immensely popular in today's world. Now using JavaScript, we can build fully fledged website, mobile apps, real-time networking applications like chats. We are having video streaming services. Okay, if you do live streaming, the video services we can build using JavaScript, command line tools, and also the advanced games are built using JavaScript. Okay, there are plenty and plenty of things which are done using JavaScript in today's world. Okay, so JavaScript is very important. If you want to get started with web development, JavaScript is the most important skill every developer should be having. In September 1995, okay, what happened? A Netscape programmer named Brandon Each developed a new scripting language in 10 days. Okay, within 10 days, he developed a new scripting language and it was named as Mocha. Okay, but quickly after some time it was named as LiveScript and later it was changed to JavaScript. Okay, JavaScript was originally designed to run only in browsers. Oh, that is the front end part. Okay, it was designed to run on browsers. So every browser, okay, we are having Internet Explorer, we are having Firefox, we are having Chrome. So every browser has JS engine that can execute JS code. Okay, now if I give an example, in Firefox and in Chrome, in Firefox we have SpiderMonkey as the JS engine, in Chrome we have V8 engine. Then later what happened in 2009, Ryan Dahl, what he did, he took the open source JS engine in Chrome and he embedded C++ programming. Okay, C++ programming language that includes Google's V8 engine. Now with this feature, we can run JavaScript outside of the browser. When I tell outside of the browser, it means we can run JavaScript on servers. We can use JavaScript as a backend programming language as well, so that we can pass JavaScript code to Node for execution. And this means with JavaScript we can build a backend for our web and mobile applications. So this is the reason we can use JavaScript both inside the browser and outside the browser. Outside the browser, how we can use? Because that person has embedded C++ programming language inside Google's engine. So that is the reason we can run JavaScript outside the browser. Now what about ECMAScript? Have you ever heard about ECMAScript? Might be you, if you are if you are starting, if you are listening JavaScript for the very first time, that ECMAScript will also be a very first time for you. Okay, might be you would have not heard about ECMAScript. Okay, ECMAScript is nothing but it is a JavaScript standard. Okay, it is standardized by ECMA International in the document ECMA 262. Okay, it is just a specification and JS is a programming language that conforms to this specification. Okay, so we have this organization called ECMA, which is responsible for defining standards. After JS popularity, this ECMAScript decided to release JS version annually. Okay, every year they started to release JS version. And the first version of ECMAScript was released in 1997. Okay, then starting from 2015, ECMA has working on annual releases of new specification. So in 2015, they released ES 2015, which is also called as ES6 or ECMAScript. Okay, first what happened? It was released in 1997 and on 2015 we had ES6. Okay, only 6 versions were released until 2015. In 2015 they have been working on annual releases, okay, basically new versions on every year. ES6, because of new features which just boomed the internet, and all the features were loved by all the developers. Okay, that features we are going to see in future. What were the ECMAScript features? Now if I just tell you in more better way, it simply means that, okay, what happened in late 90s, many developers were working on JavaScript on different features. If one developer was adding one feature and other developer were adding another feature, and they were just adding the features, removing the features, whatever they were just doing, because they were working on JavaScript. So what happened, because of that features, that JavaScript used to run on different browsers, maybe it was not working on another browsers. If somebody built a new browser, that JavaScript would not run, because each one have added their own features, each one have used their own mind, and they have just added the features. So to avoid all this confusion, a standard was made which has to be followed by everyone. Okay, which is nothing but ECMAScript. Okay, ECMAScript is nothing but it is a standard of JavaScript. When someone says ECMAScript, it is as same as JavaScript. Okay, interchangeably we can use both ECMAScript and JavaScript in almost all the cases. Okay, ECMAScript, it was just created to ensure that different documents on JavaScript are actually talking about the same language. Okay, we have plenty of documents and all the documents are referring to same language, that is our JavaScript. And also JS is very liberal language. When it comes to liberal, it simply means that when we are doing any coding in JavaScript, it will not simply throw any error. It will try to resolve as much as he can. Okay, if we are exceeding errors, then only it will throw an error. Unless and until we don't have many errors, it will just try to resolve by itself. Okay, so that is the reason JavaScript is also called as liberal language. Now coming to job roles. Okay, we are having plenty of job roles open for JavaScript developer. You can go as a mobile developer, you can go as a game developer, front-end developer, back-end developer, and full stack developer. Okay, when it comes to mobile developer, there has been a constant increase in the demand for mobile developers. Okay, mobile developers specialize in building apps for platforms like Google's Android and Apple's iOS, and many developers use React Native, which allows them to build one application using JavaScript that will work both on Android devices as well as iOS devices. Okay, if you want to learn mobile developers, you should be having some common skills, like you should be knowing a little knowledge of HTML, CSS. Okay, if you are building advanced, you can just go with Java. We are having Kotlin, C++, C#. Okay, many other programming languages that can also be used to build mobile applications. Okay, we are having front-end developer. As the name itself, we can tell it is going to build the front end part of the website. Okay, websites or apps. Okay, front end part of the websites or apps, and they will closely work with the designers to implement visual and interactive elements through coding. Okay, by using HTML, CSS, and of course JavaScript. And also we can use libraries and frameworks, as I told you. Okay, we have React, we have Vue.js, we have Angular. Now when it comes to libraries and framework, React is the most famous library of JavaScript, and when we use React, it will allow us to save time and make our work more efficient. And front-end developers may also be responsible for making sure that final design has a good user experience and that websites and apps behave as expected and are free of errors and bugs. Okay, this is the responsibility of front-end developer, and they should be having little skills of HTML and CSS. When it comes to back-end developer, As I told you, because of that embedded C++ programming language into Google's Chrome V8 engine, we can use JavaScript outside the browser. So we are open to backend developers job as well. Now what they will do, they will work on the backend of the websites and applications. Now what is backend and how we use, now when I take an example of form, okay, now front end part, we are just filling the form. But when we click on the submit button, whatever data we are having inside the form, that will be stored inside the databases. Okay, that logic we will be using the backend programming language. Okay, there are plenty of backend programming languages. We have JavaScript, we have Python, we have Java. Okay, you can use any one of this, but the advantage of using JavaScript is we can use both as front end as well as backend programming language. Okay, using backend programming languages, we can build chat based applications, okay, live chat, okay, like WhatsApp we have, as well as JSON APIs and serverless functions. When it comes to backend developer, they are just not limited to JavaScript. They should be having skills regarding APIs, regarding cloud infrastructure, and also databases. If you learn about databases, then it will be very easy for you to understand what is backend programming and how the data are stored inside the databases. And full stack developer, okay, now by the name itself we can understand the combination of front end developer and back end developer is called as full stack developer. Okay, the person who is having knowledge of both front and back end, they can go as a full stack developer. And finally, one more reason to learn JavaScript is because JavaScript skills are in demand. Okay, in today's world, JavaScript is most popular programming language, and the skills are very much in demand for everyone. And countless job postings appear for JavaScript developers every day, and this will keep on coming. Okay, so next time if you ask why JavaScript, then just remember that it is the foundation of technology of everything you do online, with a huge variety of uses. Plus, it's easy to get started with, and once you are up and running, okay, there's lot of job offers and projects open to you. Okay, this is all about JavaScript. Hope you would have got all the answers to JavaScript. JavaScript is most popular programming language, and it gives interactivity to our web pages, and it is used in almost every field. In almost every field, JavaScript is used nowadays. Okay, in next sections we are going to learn more about JavaScript. We will be seeing history of JavaScript, how JavaScript was created, how it was embedded using C++, everything we are going to see. Okay, this is all about JavaScript, and in this section the most probable interview questions are: what is JavaScript, where JavaScript is used, examples of JavaScript, what is front-end developer, what is back-end developer, can JavaScript be used both as a front-end and back-end developer, who created JavaScript, who embedded JavaScript into Node.js. Okay, these are the probable interview questions that you might get in your interview. Okay, at the end of this section I will be adding all these interview questions. You can just go through that one, you can refer that one, you can get the answers, and you can simultaneously you can prepare for your interviews as well. Next section we will be learning more about JavaScript.